You know that feeling, right? The twinkling lights, the music in every store, the mad dash to find that perfect gift. We all know Christmas. But behind all that festive wrapping, there's a story. A really deep theological answer to a problem most of us don't even think about. So today, let's unwrap Christmas and find the real gift inside.
I mean, we know this version of Christmas. It's everywhere. Santa Claus, huge family meals, decorating the tree. It's a whole season of generosity and goodwill. But according to the theology behind it all, this is really just the surface. It's the beautiful wrapping paper, not the gift itself. So, to get to the heart of it, we have to ask a totally different kind of question. Theologically speaking, Christmas isn't just a party, it's a solution. Which begs the question, what on earth was the problem? What was so broken that this was the answer?
Okay, let's dig in. The story of Christmas, believe it or not, doesn't actually start in a manger. It starts with a huge spiritual crisis. The Bible describes humanity's original state as being completely separated from God. So that makes the first Christmas something way more dramatic. It was a divine rescue mission. This line from the prophet Isaiah really nails the core of the issue. It talks about this giant chasm, a fundamental disconnect between us and God, caused by what the Bible calls sin. And we're not talking about physical distance, like miles apart. This was a relational canyon. And here's the crucial part. From the human side, that chasm was totally unbridgeable. We were stuck. If that relationship was ever going to be fixed, God himself was going to have to be the one to cross the divide. And that, right there, sets the stage for this incredible intervention.
So how do you build a bridge across an infinite chasm? Well, the answer is one of the most famous and, let's be honest, debated parts of the whole story. A miraculous birth that has a very specific and pretty brilliant theological logic behind it.
Okay, let's break this down because it's like a four-step puzzle. Step 1, the problem. This idea of a sin nature that's passed down through all of humanity, starting with Adam. Step 2, the requirement. To fix this, you need a perfect, sinless sacrifice. But how do you find one of those? That brings us to step 3, the miracle, the virgin birth, which lets Jesus be fully human but bypass that inherited problem. And what's the result? Step 4, a savior who is somehow both fully God and fully man, the only one who could possibly pull off this mission.
And this whole mind-blowing event has a name, the Incarnation. It's a huge theological word, but what it means is pretty simple and staggering. The eternal, infinite creator of the universe became a tiny, vulnerable human being. Or, as the Gospel of John famously says, the Word became flesh.
This unique birth is what allowed Jesus to be what theologians call a second Adam. It's like a cosmic do-over. Where the first Adam messed things up and brought sin and separation into the story, this second Adam, born without that baggage, could start a brand new story of restoration.
So what's the point of all this? This incredible event, the Incarnation, wasn't just some big display of divine power. No, it had a really personal, really intimate purpose, and it's all summed up in one powerful name.
Fulfilling that ancient prophecy from Isaiah, the name is Emmanuel. And the meaning is right there in the name itself. God with us. Think about that. It means God didn't just send a text message or an email. He showed up in person.
You know what's so cool about this verse? In the original language, that phrase, made his dwelling, can literally be translated as pitched his tent. One writer put it this way, God moved into the neighborhood. It's this wild idea of the infinite creator of galaxies experiencing traffic and hunger and family right alongside us. And the whole reason for God with us, for moving into the neighborhood, was to kickstart the great reconciliation. This was the project, to fix that broken relationship, to close that chasm. And, as it says in 2 Corinthians, to stop counting people's sins against them. It was all about wiping the slate completely clean. I think this quote from Billy Graham just sums it all up perfectly. It reminds us that the story was never supposed to end in the manger. The cradle was always pointing to something more, a future sacrifice on a cross, and an ultimate victory with a crown. It's all one big, continuous story.
So, okay, that's the deep theology. But what does any of this ancient stuff mean for us today, in the middle of our modern Christmas chaos? How do faith and culture really connect here?
This data from Pew Research is just fascinating. Check it out. It shows that while basically all Christians celebrate Christmas,
A huge 80% of non-Christians celebrate it too, but for them, it's mostly a cultural thing. That just goes to show you what a massive cultural footprint this holiday has, often completely separate from its religious roots.
And that footprint is totally global. I mean, from festive KFC dinners in Japan, who knew, to sharing wafers in Poland, this one event has been expressed in thousands of beautiful and unique ways all over the world.
But here's the real challenge, right? Is to actually unwrap the gift of Christmas and carry these core ideas with us all year long. It's about turning these big theological concepts into everyday actions: love, hope, peace, gratitude, not just in December, but in March and August and October too.
And that really brings us to our final thought. We have all our cherished traditions, right? The cultural wrapping that makes the season so magical for so many of us. And inside all that, there's this profound theological gift of reconciliation. So the question we're left with is this: have we fallen so in love with the beautiful wrapping paper that we've forgotten to even look at what's inside?